Though it has been formally requested of me by both stream viewers and YouTube viewers at this point to turn off the freaking game's music. So we're going to play the rest of the game basically with the game muted. You are welcome. Also, thank you, God. Speaking of horribly sad places. The Chandler wants to fight. They send out a Ghastly. Oh my god. Actually looks kind of cool there. I mean, it's dead. Secret of Mana remake, by the way. Oh, the spirit left. My friends were possessed too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could judge the music by this point. It's another Ghastly. What am I doing? Sorry, I was possessed. That's such a thing. I'll kill you! Oh, I'm sorry, I was possessed. Did they really announce scenes? Wow. Don't think I've encountered that. Of course, I only have limited exposure to that. Oh, hey, speaking of Ghastlies, let's see if we can catch one, shall we? So I don't think I have the ability to weaken this without killing it, so we're just gonna toss it. Yeah. Great ball, see what happens. Nice. Now, I probably won't, but I might level my Ghastly. So does anyone want to be the Ghastly? By which I mean the Haunter. I mean, Secret of Mana has a banger soundtrack, so that makes sense. Oh, Shadow Machine. That's not going to fit, is it? Shadow M. There we go. Shadow Machine. Hey, Sean. Lunch is actually pretty crap. Local place is not great. No, the reason I was so late in coming back, I know, right, Blaine, was because, so, obviously, you know, still relatively fresh and moving in. There were a few last to-do items on my list that I wanted to get done. One of which was moving his desk downstairs so he could set up his computer. One was moving her desk downstairs so she could set up her computer. And then one of which was setting up her chair in her room. That's 3 heavy things going either down a staircase, down 2 staircases, or up a staircase. So that was my lunch. I'm still kind of sick, so I spent the last 40 minutes just kind of chilling. Like, I've been here, done, ready to go on time, but I didn't want to... I wasn't even sure I was going to do my second stream. Because, like I said, I'm not feeling super great. Ooh, 46. We're getting there. The ghost can be identified by the Sylph Scope. Oh, I don't need to be playing this song. Or that one. I always found it funny. It's so easy to get a Ghastly. But a Haunter was one of my mains when I did my real playthrough of this back in the day. Its Haunters are awesome. I did start with Gen 1, but the first Pokemon game I finished was Gen 2. I actually went back to Gen 1 somewhere around Gen 3 or 4. And no, I don't mean with the remake. I mean to the original. Water, normal, and poison Shadow Machine. Which I know because we looked this up earlier. We were actually comparing. There's obviously almost no... Let's see. There's only the one dragon line. There's the one ghost line. There aren't many psychics. There aren't many bugs. I forget what else. Most of the types actually don't have that much representation. Not really. We can't crack the identity of the ghosts. Yeah, ice is also, like, barely there. I remember looking at one point in time, this is generations ago, as to which type overall had the most Pokemon. And last I checked, it was water. I don't know if that's changed, because obviously several generations have come out since then. Still water. I mean... May the departed souls of the Pokemon rest in peace. No more room for items. God dang it. Okay. That sucks. How's the dungeon design of this game? Pretty bad, I would say. Like, I don't know if it's negative worthy. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Sorry. Just get rid of the potion. Nope, 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 nope. Ghost, no! What? Yeah, I guess, like, if we're just talking all types of birds, yeah. Birds or fish, probably, but probably birds first. I must have been dreaming. I remember reading a thing at one point that there were no pure flying types. Let's see if that's still true. Nope, there are 4 pure flyings. 4. Yeah, Tornadus, another form, Rookidee, and Corvisquire. Wow. Yes, J. Palmer. There are 113 flying Pokemon, which is the 4th most common. After Grass. Grass has 130. Normal has 133. which makes the most common type of Pokemon. Try to be shocked. Water. Oh my god, at 159. That's not even close. That's actually silly. Like, that's 130, 133, and then 159. That's just a jump. Why are there so many water types? B and W, President Clown? Help me out here. Oh, black and white. I mean, black and white, if you already have it, is a perfectly acceptable starter. It's not one of the two I would recommend, but you can super start with it. Having said that, if you have access to everything... Oh yeah, Blood Splatter everywhere, J. Palmer. I would recommend you start with Leaf Green or Fire Red, if you have access to everything, which is what you just mentioned. Well, let's see. Let's look at Ghost type. So there are 73 Ghost types, which makes it the third rarest. There are 70 Fairy types, making it second, which makes the rarest type of all. That's right. Ice, of all things. 58 ice Pokemon. I guess that makes sense. Sorry, right. Spacing. No, where's my review list? There it is. This music is actually canonically what's playing in the Lavender Tower, by the way. Dragon is apparently fourth most rare. I don't even see Steel. It goes Dragon, Ghost, Fairy. Yeah, Dragon, Ghost, Fairy, and then Ice. Let's look up Steel. Hang on. Hey, Ross. Steel is tied, actually, with Rock and Ground at 78. So it goes Steel, Rock, and Ground, all tied, then Dragon, and then the rest. Yeah, there's a bunch of legendaries and pseudo-legendary dragons. A lot of secondary type dragons. Including dumb things like that stupid apple dragon. It was possessed. Yeah, I don't think... Come, child, I sealed this space with white magic. You can rest here. Oh, thank you. Give me your soul. Woo. Oh, hey, a Haunter, which looks wild. You think that's bad? You remember that? I was glancing at my phone, and I still had my phone up to that ugliest Pokemon list. One of the ugliest Pokemon lists. It was like actually the fourth ugliest Pokemon they listed. Was Chansey. Clickbaiting, if I were to guess. Chansey is adorbs, despite what Huthor will tell you. Yeah, Togepi is an egg. No, ugliness makes you happy. I mean, Feebas is kind of ugly. That's true. Quack. Did I seriously get another one on random? Wow. Aw, poor Aerodactyl. He's doing his best. I mean, you want my hot take of the day? I actually unironically like Vanilla-X. I didn't want to hear it. I don't even care. Level 47. I actually listened to an artist, like an actual sketch artist, describe why older Pokemon designs were better than newer ones. I don't want to say like mathematically, but I don't know a better word to use there. It was an interesting discussion. It had to do with consistency in style. Basically, there were rules that they used back in the day in order to, you know... Oh no, it's a ghost! It's a Marowak! There were consistency in the design of the older Pokemon. And that's true. I just don't care. Well, I just one-shot it with my weakest attack. I was going to catch it, but whatever. Maybe I can't. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh no, it's Team Rocket! What do you want? Why are you here? We're evil. Oh, I can't catch that one. Well, never mind. Just as well, then. Yeah, I am a little over-leveled. On purpose, actually. Golbat's some decent exp. Oh my god! Look at the Golbat. Look at the Golbat. So there's an interesting question. Since we're talking Gen 1, what's your favorite, just visually, what's your favorite Pokemon in Gen 1? Now, I gotta think about that. Whoops, that's gonna get me copyrighted. Let's go with, like, Sprite. Well, no, sorry, no, the opposite of Sprite. Like, the art, the drawing. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of starters, but it does seem to be a trend, Sub-Zero. This old man came by and complained about us harming useless Pokemon. We're talking it over as adults. Are you? Let's see. Favorite looking Pokemon in Gen 1. I gotta actually think about that. I have to admit, Zapdos came to my mind without even thinking about it, just immediately. I don't think that's my pick. It was just the first one that jumped to mind. Mewtwo is literally cheating. Please, no more. Pokemon are only good for making money. Stay out of our business. You're not saving anyone, kid. No wonder they walked away from Team Rocket. They don't want the villains to be people who use Pokemon for making money. Oh, absolutely push-ups. Of course. Don't go fighting us, Rockets. You're not getting away with this. I've already beaten you. Twice. You came to save me. Thank you. But I came here of my own free will. I came to calm the soul of Cubone's mother. I think Marowak's spirit has gone to the afterlife. I must thank you for your kind concern. Follow me to my home, Pokemon House, at the foot of the tower. Mr. Fujibin praying alone for Cubone's mother. It's so warm. Pokemon are so nice to hug. Wait, what Pokemon is it? It's a Psyduck! Oh my god. Runner, your Pokedex quest may fail without love for your Pokemon. I think this may help your quest. You must make room for this. God damn it! To the item box. So I'm most torn between Dragonair. Let's ignore the legendaries for a second. So Dragonair, Fat Pikachu, which I do unironically think is absolutely adorable. And, Haunter. I have Pidgey, and I believe I have a Spearow. But basically, I have a Pidgey. Hasn't evolved yet, no. I'll sell the nuggets. God, so impatient. Yep, I do have a Spearow right there. Oh, I put lift on my Mewtwo that I have, obviously. Yeah, some of Gen 1's designs are... I hesitate to use the word lazy, so I'll simply say not designed. Because, yeah. Yes, I could get a Mewtwo if I wanted to. So there's the flute. Yeah, we don't talk about Jinx. We don't ever talk about Jinx. So I would like to catch this Snorlax. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but I'd like to at least try. Well, there's a TM with Swift in it. I know the document isn't cleaned up. I honestly haven't had time. I am sorry. I have failed. Raichu's fine, I guess. Never thought about it, really. What I find funny is there was originally 190 Pokemon in Gen 1. There's even data for it, and we have receipts for some of the original designs. They're perfect, Sub-Zero. Perfect in every way, just like the Golbat earlier. But if I could explain in simplicity, ignoring the fact that I think the sprites are actually bad, then there's this problem. So tell me which Pokemon this one is, and this one, and this one. Go ahead, I'll wait. They're all Nidoking. I mean, the bird at least looks like a friggin' bird. But, like, that's Bulbasaur, or Ivysaur, excuse me. That's Raticate. This is Geodude. That's a Geodude. Yep, that's a Kadabra. And this is a Ghastly. Oh, I guess we're not in Lavender Town anymore. I don't have to be on this playlist anymore. Oh, that would be awful, Monobrent. So since we're in like a watery area. That's a good question. Are there 6 sprites? So there's like water creature, plant, flying, the dinosaur looking thing. Yeah, the bull thing. And I guess the ball? Does anything other than Voltorb have the ball? Oh, wow. So I could have a Magnemite or Magneton. Or Voltorb. And then any of the dogs, any water, any flyer. That's a good question. What does Muck look like? We should try to grab a Muck when we're over there. It's not too far out. You are crazy, Kennex Cow. I'm sorry. Oh, that's true. There's the Clefairy sprite. No, we don't have strength yet. This is from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Oh yeah, there's the bug sprite. So we can have a bug. Yay. You beat me by Pokemon, but I'm good at fishing. Yes, this is the Tropical Freeze remake of Aquatic Ambiance. I'm sorry, I just think it's hilarious that at this point, Kadabra is just... Like, we've snowballed. We're there. Our Kadabra is level 48. We could probably start fighting the Elite Four with this Kadabra right now. In fact, we could. We could sweep. But... it does not like that link, Shadow Machine. See if I can manually grab that. There we go. Okay, so we had... oh, wow. So there's like the dinosaur icon, which includes Muck, by the way. So that answers that question. Then there's the orb. Shell. I didn't even know that was a thing. The Clefairy thing, which includes Pikachu, by the way. Pikachu has a Clefairy sprite. Pidgey. So it's like the bird thing, the water thing, the bug thing, the plant thing. Apparently there's a snake dragony thing, which has Ekans and Onix and Gyarados. Then there's the bull thing. And then there's actually a special sprite for Pikachu, and that's in that's in yellow, specifically. So yeah, I mentioned a Pokemon, I'll tell you which one of those it is. Whatever it is, it's probably not where it should be. Okay, so save. Oh, yes, that would be good association, Kenexco. Okay, so I want to capture this. I do actually want to capture this. So, Blue Dragon, I need you to help train your replacement so you can retire. Oh, hang on. We should have some boss music for Snorlax. Ooh. It's higher level than I thought it would be. Is amnesia? Okay. Come on. Good luck. Immediately breaks free. Yeah, if I had sleeping powders, it'd be great. Oh my god. I need you to not die to the poison, okay, Snorlax? Jeez, okay. Oh, it's asleep. It's asleep. Oh. Right. But it's asleep. So that actually is going to make its chance to be caught even higher, believe it or not. Ah, shoot, he woke up. Oh, whatever. Yes, Archeon Veil. I'd say the score on screen is accurate, but it actually totally isn't. Let's see if we can paralyze. Right, it's normal. We can't do that. Oh my god, didn't even hit it. What? No, Archeon Veil. This is the end. We are finally at the end of the awful block. No, I had not, Arthur. So, I think I really do want this, so... how do I... hang on a sec. Yeah, I threw a Pokeball at a Snorlax, and I missed! What is wrong with me? Oh, it's been a thing, Archeon Veil. I am literally physically ill. Although it's not because of the terrible games, but I like to say that it is. glad I got the boss music for this. Jeez Louise. Bravely Default, the first one. I'm not telling you where this song's from. If you don't know where this song's from, there's no hope for you. No, I like that kind of stark comparison, Sub-Zero. If I could, I would play FF1 and FF6 side by side. Because that is an awesome comparison. The worst person in all of Trek? I'd give up. What about Chrono Cross? We already reviewed Chrono Cross. Like a month and a half ago. I was debating leech seeding. But I had more determination than that. Oh, gotcha. Sorry. I'm not doing great. You gotta work with me. You gotta work with me. Ah, that episode. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I wish Nintendo was bribing me. I could use the money. I really hope they're going to do something, but we won't know for a year. Because that's not coming out till next November. Oh, geez, we crit. He's just staring at us like... Rrr. Okay, he's poisoned and below 20% health. I cannot make... I do not have the ability to make him easier to get. Well, now I do, because he's asleep. BlizzCon, Dream Whisperer. Yeah, I could see that. Ow. Okay. Well, he's asleep again. I mean, honestly, you give me Space Marine 2, so co-op and quality, set in StarCraft, I will play the snot out of that. Like, you know me, Space Marine 2 is a fantastic game that scored very highly for it. And, yeah, I actually like the StarCraft setting, unlike 40k. And yeah, there's two enemy two enemy factions to play with right off the bat. And plenty of variants in order to vary up the specifics of enemy units. So there's a lot you could do with that. I may give up on this. Let me tell you a memory I have. Once upon a time, I really wanted to catch Zapdos. Really wanted to catch Zapdos. So I got to Zapdos. And saved right before him. Lowered his health. And then threw 99 Ultra Balls at him. Failed to catch him. Walked away from it. Reloaded the save, and did that again. I forget if it was 2 or 3 reloads, but either way, it was hundreds of Ultra Balls in order to get Zapdos. And I've never forgotten that, because it took me a long freaking time. It was awful, and I've never forgotten that. And you know what? I'm good. I made a solid effort to get Snorlax, and I failed. I know there's a second one. Once, what, you better try one more time? Well, hang on. Hey, it's the guy who gives us X. Oh, wait, no, this is 30. Oh, he gives us the item finder. Ugh, we're up to 24. I might give up on X-Ball as well, honestly. That just might not be worth the time. So, one time I was playing, I think it was White 2. And I happen to have a Game Genie for my DS. So I gave myself, I think it was like 999 Master Balls. And this is going to sound strange, but that drastically improved my enjoyment of that game. Seriously, like, that was just, oh, wow. That is so much more enjoyable to not have to deal with this nonsense every time I want to catch something. I actually did a catch-em-all run, that particular run, because I had 999 Master Balls. But no, I actually agree, Huthor. The catch rates, I don't want to say they've always been terrible, because there's actually some games where that's not true. But in a lot of Pokemon games, the catch rates are stupid. Like, you think that's bad. That's a Zapdos. That's a legendary. Try catching a Chansey sometime. Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot you can do to improve your catch chance, too. Once you have if there's a Pokemon that's asleep and below 20% health, that is pretty much as high of a chance as you're going to get. It's a 25-point-some% chance. Were a great invention, honestly. And yeah, most of the catch rates have been bumped up as well. Yeah, it's true, they could have some bad luck protection. Fun fact, World of Warcraft does that. Every time you throw the legally distinct Pokeball in World of Warcraft when you're doing pet battles, it increases the chance of the next time you do it by X%, like by 10% or something like that. So, we know that mechanic works and is actually a pretty good mechanic. We have seen it in action. Also true, Huthor. Anytime you're struggling in a battle, you can just back out of the battle and it'll just be right there. God, it makes so much sense, Saber for Life. Jesus Christ, John Machine. As a bake, Mr. Red. 100%. Get that in the oven. Yeah, they're getting rid of pet battles, and it kind of makes sense why. Most people just haven't been engaging in it. It's a shame because pet battle dungeons were a great idea. Here we are. Okay, I wasn't expecting to one-shot that. Hang on. Let's just go back to here. Just hang on. I really wasn't expecting that to be a one-shot. Yeah, the other problem with this pet battles is well, it's actually one of those problems, capital P problems. So it's actually a lot of different things combining with each other. But the biggest problem by far is the level cap is 25, which you're expected to hit by the time you hit BC, which is the second expansion, right? It's you've barely started doing pet battles and you're already max level. And there's only so much you can do to increase your output. The biggest problem, in my opinion... no, I didn't mean to do that. Ugh. The biggest problem with pet battles in WoW, in my opinion, is that the way it's designed is that you're not supposed to have a team of 3 or 6 or 15 or 50. You're supposed to have a team of 500. All maxed out. All level 25. All blue. Hey! Holy crap. Who wants to be Snorlax? No, actually, for Snorlax, I think we'll do the guessing game. Let me think of a number. Hang on, I'm looking at between 1 and 100. Anybody wants to guess between 1 and 100? Okay, I've got my number. So let's see. Yeah, exactly, Huthor. So it's like, it's just, the game really wants you to have a giant fields of pet battles, and honestly, or pets, excuse me, 4 battles, and I just got tired of it. Every major boss requires its own unique strategies, and that's cool, but it just got old. Alright, okay. Sure, Noctis. Because, yeah, Bregwin did pick... I was just going to make you both re-guess if it was you guys. Double checking. So, Fyrock, Ross, and Huthor. I need all 3 of you to re-pick. Because you all guessed 57. It was 58. So, hang on. Let me come up with a new number. Okay. Yeah, still 1 to 100. Hey, look, it's a Snorlax. It's the same freaking icon it always is. I guess I can switch songs now. Sorry, to be clear, just the people who guessed earlier get to re-guess. So that's Huthor, Fyrak, and Ross. So Ross, waiting on you. It goes to Ross. And yeah, I think you'll be taking Blue Dragon's spot. Let's lock that in. How to make status effects work better? So the first and most obvious answer is do the Final Fantasy V method. I think what I would do, it would kind of depend on the rest of the combat system, because I like the idea of lots of different types of status effects. You know, for example, burn and poison and bleed are all the same basic concepts, right? They're dots. So, like, varying it up to add something else on top of that, which, again, kind of depends on your combat system, would be where I would go with that. Alright. Blue Dragon, you have done me very well. I'm sending you off to retirement. Yeah, in most turn-based games in general, the way that you make status effects worthwhile is you make them exceptionally overpowered. Look at our icons. Dragon, 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 dragon. Okay, what do you do? Headbutt, amnesia, and rest. That's it. This is one of the reasons why haste tends to be so ludicrously powerful in most games that have it. Or anything else that allows you to take multiple actions per turn. True, Monobra. Does Sleep Talk even exist in Gen 1? Yeah, Sword Dance is a good example of a pretty useful buff. And yeah, Amnesia in Gen 1. And yeah, Haste in Chrono Trigger. Where am I going? Where am I going? Right. Okay, I think I know where I am. When is haste ever useless? I've seen a few games where they try to make haste less useful. I don't know if I'd call it useless, but there's been attempts to bring it down from being ridiculously overpowered. Most of those attempts fail. Even 5th edition, which makes haste only last for a few rounds and then have the component of like debuffing you after its usage, is still completely worth it. And when I say 5th edition, I mean Baldur's Gate 3. Sorry, just to clarify. Bike is so worthwhile. I'll even use up a... Oh, right. Thirsty Guards. We haven't dealt with the Thirsty Guards yet. Right. Here we go. Yeah, I forget if one time does it or if I have to keep re-giving them drinks or not. Because, yeah, we need to get to the center town. Saffron, I want to say? Celadon? Whatever the central town is. Okay, just the one time. And nothing indicates that. Yeah. 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 You just say, gee, I'm thirsty. Listen, that one bottle. I will take the lemonade. My sister's a trainer, believe it or not. She's so mature, she drives me nuts. She's in Gen 2, and she's got a mill tank? It's weird. We took Ivysaur for my starter. That's okay, Fyrak. I accept. In my defense, it was not my decision. I let a vote decide that. I would find rollout much funnier if it wasn't so aggravating. Oh boy, I'm parched. I can have this drink? Gee, thanks. Yes, free. Glug glug gulp. If you want to go to Saffron City, you can go on through. I'll share this with the other guards. Okay. We did it. We made it to Saffron City. Being evil makes me feel so alive! So many jokes. So many jokes. Get out of the way. Oh, okay. Fighting Dojo. I forgot the Fighting Dojo was even in Gen 1. I suppose I should start leveling other people, and since I don't think I'm going to get the X-Ball... Let's start with our Grappler. Let's get some evolutions in here. Hooah! You're trespassing in our Fighting Dojo. Sorry, jeez. Oh yeah, I need to write down a positive before I forget. Plus to Mr. Red. Sabrina was like, quit it. Just quit. You know, I've said this for years. A game I would love to see is a Pokemon politics game. This is actually the menu. Getting fan. Okay, I know it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm really not. Why is your Machop level 31? Like, hear me out for a second. One of the ideas that's always been cool to me in the back of my mind is the idea that the gyms and the Elite Four are actually part of the bureaucracy, right? That they're part of the governmental framework of the planet, of the world. And they actually deal with things like, you know, everyday functioning. It doesn't have to be full-on, like, Game of Thrones style. Although, actually, it could be, just minus the sex and violence. Yeah, Gen 5 does play with that idea a little bit. So does Gen 8 a little bit. Yeah, like, maybe... Because we know Interpol exists. Luker was an Interpol member. I just feel like there's some potential there that a boring-ass person like me would totally be into. So Pokemon Conquest doesn't really count, because that's just the Sengoku Jidai for the 50,000th time. Also isn't a Pokemon game, doesn't have gyms, and doesn't have the Elite Four. I mean, the Gym Simulator game, I've said this so many times, the Gym Simulator is my biggest want for a future Pokemon game, which will never, ever, ever happen. See, Primeape looks fine. What's wrong with Mankey? Yeah, we've got Pokopia coming up. And that's made by the developers behind Dragon Quest Builders, so I'm excited for that based on that alone. I have never played Pokemon Colosseum. It is on the list. Okay, these might not be worth the experience. Constantly swap. These are like Machops. I need bigger prey. Lanes between from 2. Let me double check myself. Yep. My Geodude, Felton Ryu, finally learned a rock move. Machoke's probably worth doing it for. Oh my god, look at his sprite. Oh my god. Okay, okay. We're okay. We're okay. I can't tell what's worse. Did the face, his arms... Sorry, his mouth, his arms, or his eye? Yeah, he had a stroke while doing steroids. Judge, 1 point. Wow. With Sylph under control, we can exploit Pokemon around the world. It would be great if the Elite Four came and stomped Team Rocket. Yeah, why don't they, by the way? Pokemon growth rates differ from species to species. Silphco is very famous. That's why it attracted Team Rocket. Actually, that's an interesting point. Like this, again, Pokemon politics, right? The leader of Team Rocket is a gym leader. That there's so much potential for storytelling there. Like, that's pretty much the equivalent of a mayor who is also in charge of the mafia. No, I remember Shadow Machine. Hitmonchan doesn't have the stats to back up his moveset, and Hitmonlee is Death Machine. At least in Gen 1. I think they nerfed him in future stuff. That's true, Bonabrand, yeah. I break boulders for training. I was just dragging a bit. Oh, I stubbed my fingers. How did you stub your fingers fighting me in Pokemon? Oh, that frightened us a psychic power. What about birds? This is very appropriate for the fighting gym, I think. I mean, in the entire Pokemon setting? Well, it depends how literally you take the lore. I tend to not take it very literally at all because that's stupid. Also, extremely self-contradictory. Most of the Pokemon lore is far more the realm of myth than actual fact, with a couple of things that kind of drift into fact, you know? Like, yes, Arceus is this super powerful Pokemon, but he is ultimately still a Pokemon, not the ultra creator of everything. Yes, I know that's different in the anime. The anime has different continuity. We don't even talk about the manga. God, it really does look like he just exploded. Anyways, so, most powerful Pokemon? No, really. I mean, okay, so let's get this out of the way. Mega Rayquaza is objectively the most powerful Pokemon in Pokemon. Now, that's in gameplay, though. Like, that's not even close. Mega Rayquaza is in his own category. He's stupid. Grunt. I am the Karate Master. I'm the leader here. You wish to challenge us? Expect no mercy. Yeah, they took an already overpowered legendary and made it insane. Let's ignore that, because that's more of a gameplay thing. If we're going by that, I mean Tauros, am I right? Hmm. My God, he looks so silly there. Live, 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 live. Oh, thank God. Oh, keep living. Keep living, keep living, keep living. Yeah, Mount Chan looks cooler, but is just kind of terrible, stat-wise. Okay. So, let's see. Most powerful Pokemon in lore, in the games, not counting the mythos. Honestly, Rayquaza is still in the running there. It's a sky dragon whose job it is to keep the earth and sea in check. And unlike in a lot of the other myths, Rayquaza actually does that. Like, they talk about how Lugia is supposed to be the one in charge of, like, the weather, but in the games, he never actually does that, right? But in the games, Groudon and Kyogre actually do screw with things. And in the games, Rayquaza does show up and tell him to piss off. I beseech you, do not take our emblem as your trophy. In return, I will give you a prized fighting Pokemon. Yes, I will take Hitmonchan. Let's see. Other candidates for Super Strong. I was going to say, Arceus, thanks to Arceus, the game, qualifies. Deoxys doesn't really do much. He's just kind of an optional side boss. So, no real lore to go off of there to speak of, other than the Mythos, which, as we already discussed, doesn't count. Favorite Pokemon? Crobat. That's easy. Evidence, Luke? Whoops. I think it's Dialga that had time. Can you name any examples of that, Luke? Ever? Not in the anime, not in the manga, only in the mainline games. Completely ignoring the Pokédex. Giratina was going to be another one I was going to pick. And then Loke distracted the hell out of me. Because Giratina certainly does have some kind of strength in the other world. And again, Arceus. Thanks, Arceus. And yes, I know it's supposed to be Arceus, and I kind of don't care. You want me to pronounce it Arceus? Add voice acting to your games. Hey kid, what are you doing here? Is this Pokedex story positive? That's actually a good point. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Red. Negative to story, the Pokedex. Now let's switch to dungeon playlist here. It's just randomly picking Celeste here. Whatever. I don't care. Nobody cares. Look at the Golbat. Look at it. Look at it. He's just really hungry. Yeah. Well, if it's in Omega Ruby, I wouldn't know, Luke, so I have to acquiesce to that. Yeah, Zubat's just an innocent, cute little cute. It's usually cute. And then there's Golbat. Pretty much, Saber for wife. Stand-up memory of the early days of Pokemon. Level 49. Stealth Kill will be merged with Team Rocket. I mean, I kind of have to take your word on that, Luke. But either way, I'm going to go with... I cannot possibly imagine that to be true. So, no. The idea of saying Deoxys is one of the strongest Pokemon in the entire setting, even with the limitations we've set, just doesn't feel any kind of right. This is from Celeste, and no, I do not, Mr. Red. Like, I don't know. That feels like saying, you know, the strongest thing, yes, Sub-Zero. There's nothing really strong to Psychic, and there's basically nothing strong against Psychic. Ooh, Falcon Ryu learned self-destruct. I'm having trouble coming up with a good analogy. That's like saying that in FF10, the strongest thing in FF10 is that one Marlboro super boss. Because he's super strong. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right, you know? I played, so I've actually already answered this, Disco, but I don't mind repeating myself. Yeah, in 10 specifically, Mr. Red. There's actually a lot of super bosses in 10. I played Pokemon when it came out, and didn't really like it that much. Probably because by the time this came out, it was 1998. I had access to, I'm going to be real about this, much better games than Pokemon Red by 1998. So I was just like, this is not worth my time, and just kind of walked away from it. So then I moved on to, you know, other games. Then Gen 2 came out. Not that long after, actually. Gen 2 stuck with me a lot harder. I do remember the biggest reason I got into Pokemon was pretty much all of my friends were playing Pokemon. Gen 1. I was like, okay. Grandma's like, raising the roof? I mean, we all know the actual strongest Pokemon ever is a level 1 Rattata. Or anything with that one strategy. Yeah, the fear strat. I'm just picturing, I want to go to lunch, guys. Does your lunch break start in an hour? Yeah. It's gonna take me that long to get to the lunchroom. Go downstairs, teleport up, go over here, teleport down, go over here, teleport over here, go through this thing, find the key, use the key on the door, unlock this elevator, go to the other spot, teleport there. I mean, that's just what would happen in real life, isn't it, Monobrent? We've invented teleportation! We've implemented it in the dumbest way possible. What's going on with Space Marine 3? Ah, shoot, I meant to swap. Oh god, slow teleports. That was a thing in Half-Life 2. If you don't turn back, I'll call for backup. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I'm down for more Necrons. More Necrons. You just... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. You pull up the box, and there's just... Aha! No! Fountain Ryu! God dang it, I hit the wrong button. You pull up the box, and there's just an Abra down there. Alright? Doesn't matter. My brothers will repay the favor. Yep, we defeated one of the famous Rocket Brothers. That is a good question, Chill Pangolin. When we're a little more caught up is the answer, though. We lost several weeks to the move, and I don't feel like adding to the queue when the existing games that are in the Dealer's Choice block have been pushed back, at this point, several months. So we're going to filter the queue out a little bit more before we start letting you guys add more games to the queue again. For free. Get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. Oh yeah, I totally take December off, and that's a thing I've ever done ever. When have I ever taken December off? Help me out, Chad. Yeah, what's a vacation? Oh, goody, Huthor. I love the fact that it was chaos all along. It is possible we've done a dark during Christmas, or just to say December before, but I don't specifically take any time off. Ever. Oh, that's true. I used to do the movie rooms. The terrible, terrible movie rooms. We'll get to Kirby some year, I swear, President Clam. I remember that, Uthor. We were streaming on Christmas Day, and Co-Carnage raided me. Nothing ever came of that. Didn't get any new viewers, didn't retain any new viewers, didn't make any real money out of it. But it was just a hell of a moment. Lord Harrimont is now level 50. Very appropriate music for that. There we go. It gives 50% experience to each person I swap to, Sub-Zero. Doesn't reduce the overall amount unless I have an X-Ball. In which case, there's actually a bug with that. I hate to do this, but I'm going to go lay down for a bit. This is great. I started late, and now I'm going to lay down early. I'm sorry. I'm fading hard here. And I have a really bad headache. So, we'll finish up Silphco at some other point in time. Let's see this.